I chose forensic science because it sounded really interesting and it was something different. You don't just do one subject like science, you do like psychology, criminology, criminal investigation. It's really interesting. The work, it's practical and theory. The tutors are really helpful and down to earth, and they're always willing to help you if you need help. When I've completed this course, I'll be going to university to study psychology and then a master's degree in forensic psychology and then hopefully become a forensic psychologist.
We have lost over 90% of peatland that has been formed over the last 18,000 years as a result of dramatic changes in landscape from the last ice age and 7,000 years of forestation to create this wilderness. This is a story of a local hero born in Barnsley in 1916. He was fearless. He dared to pick up the gauntlet and fight. In his words, I suggest that the essence of conservation lies with one simple word: no. Say no, mean no. Fight to retain the places we have. And he did. In the early 1950s, I, William Bunting, arrived in Thorn.
Rawmarsh Community School is a thriving 11 to 16 comprehensive school committed to improving the life chances of every student who attends. Situated 3 miles north of Rotherham town centre, the school is central to its local community, and the majority of our students live within walking distance. The vast majority of Rawmarsh families send their children to the school, with increasing numbers joining from outside our traditional catchment area.
Welcome to Rawmarsh School. Hi, I'm Ben.
And I'm Olivia, and we're here to show you around, so let's go.
Hello, my name's Dr Wilson. I'm the head teacher of Rawmarsh Community School. The best thing about our school is our students and our staff. Those of you who know our students will know what a friendly and helpful group they are. And those of you who've met our staff, from the receptionist through all the people who work in the school, the deputy head teachers, will know how committed they are to the achievements of all the community. If you've had a chance to look at our Ofsted report, you'll know that there's a good deal of good, excellent and outstanding teaching in the school.
I'm now downstairs in the workshop, sitting at my MacFigures loom. This was originally the loom I had with a dobby on top. It's an old Lervard loom, a very good Danish make. And I took all the innards out of it, so it's more or less just a frame, and set it up for making the MacFigures. And now they all depend on a rigid heddle. Here are two rigid heddles of different sets. And what I do is to make small warps, which I put on a bobbin, and each warp is threaded through a rigid heddle. So you've got 18 threads wound here and 18 threads threaded there. And then each one is weighted like that. And the shot from the back of the loom will show you them lined up like that. So each of these units it is like a two-harness loom. Everything a two-harness loom will do, this will do.
Even during the summer, I used to dread going into her room in the morning in case she could have died. I knew that heart failure was always a possibility. And that used to frighten me. It frightened her at one point because she said, "I'm frightened to go to sleep." So I knew it was something she was frightened about. But I thought we'd made such progress that she put on enough weight to keep her safe. And when she died, and I took up the issues with the NHS, one person said to me, "She didn't want to get better. Your daughter didn't want to get better." And I refute that. She used to say, "I just want to be normal, Mum. I want to get better." I think a lot of people still see anorexics as people who are sad, especially if their anorexia takes hold of their life to such an extent that they can't do anything, and that they're just sitting there and being force-fed with tubes. And I think people just think what a sad life it is. They don't understand. It's almost like a cancer of the mind. Because once you get into the setup of an eating disorder, it's difficult to break it. It becomes more and more entrenched. And I think that the public don't understand that. It's not something that people choose to have.
I first started with disordered eating in my mid-teens, and I'm 50 now, so it's been a long time. And variously I've been anorexic and bulimic and suffered from compulsive overeating. So my weight's fluctuated a tremendous amount. I would define it as having overwhelming obsessional thoughts that are really hard to live with, coupled with compulsive behaviours that you don't seem to have any control over, that cause you to do things against your own will and against your own better judgment.
I had an eating disorder myself from the age of about 13 that went on probably until really I was in my early 30s, and I was never diagnosed, but I think really early on that I was sort of towards anorexia, but I was never treated or hospitalised. I managed to not be underweight enough so that I was always kind of under the radar and not noticed. And that later became a more sort of general disordered eating problem that just went on for a really long time, stopped me doing a lot of things. And looking back, I really think that if an organisation like SAIDA had been around at that time, if I'd been able to access those kind of services, that actually I would have recovered much sooner just from being able to sort of tap into that kind of support.